Well, it's reviewing with the boys once again, Trey.
Yep, we are back.
Yeah. Dude, before we get started with the whole movie review, I really did enjoy this movie a lot.
This movie was really good. I told you behind the off stream, probably the best biopic since Walk the Line.
Yeah.
Like,
To me, I
it,
think it's better than the Austin Butler Elvis movie. Like I like that
yeah,
movie, but like this movie to me was really, really good. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
everything about it. We will be getting into spoilers, chat. Just want to
Yeah,
announce that
we'll
now.
throw it up there in the when we go we're talking about the review and the spoilers, so don't worry about that. Um yeah, but dude, I really like this movie. The way it was shot, the way the choreography was for the dancing,
Yep.
everything. I thought this was done down to a T.
Jafar Jackson. There's points in the movie chat when I was watching it in the theater. I
Yeah.
really thought he was Michael for a second. Like, am I in some kind of time travel thing where I could
Yeah.
see Michael in real time? Because it's what it felt like with Jafar, down
Yeah.
to his voice and everything.
Everything, his mannerisms, his entire like demeanor, the way that he spoke, he sounded like Michael. It's really good. Look, do not go to the critics at all.
Yeah,
Go
fuck
watch the
them
movie for
critics, by the
yourself.
way.
Go watch it yourself. Be your own judge. But highly recommend going to watch the movie.
I'm definitely going to see this again. I don't know about in theaters, but I am definitely going to watch it again. And I don't really say that about a biopic, so.
I have not seen the Weird Al documentary. I'd be interested
I'm
in
not
watching it.
either. I might want. I was going to watch it. I just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, but I think it was a Roku exclusive, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
it was Roku, and yeah, Daniel Radcliffe was Weird Al.
Right. So maybe it's on a different streaming platform or service, but yeah, I definitely check it out. But thanks for making that comment in the chat. Appreciate that. So I mean, Trey, do you want to get into the actual like sport, like the plot and the spoilers of the movie?
Yeah, and chat. This movie, I'll say it's not a negative, but it does kind of jump around. So if I'm jumping around, that's why.
Yeah,
Because
I
it does
think
kind of jump around. Like
before,
outside, like the first like 30 minutes, would you say, Tyler?
yeah.
Like once he comes like into the music side, it kind
Yeah.
of jumps around.
So right here, we're gonna put a banner up real quick. So if you don't want
Yes.
to, if you do not want to be spoiled and you want to go watch the movie and come back to this later, that's fine. But we're gonna put a spoiler banner up here right now. So 5,
Yep.
4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers begin.
Yep. So the movie basically starts. You just kind of see a look into Michael's life, essentially, for like the first, like 30, 40 minutes. It's kind of just him practicing
Because
music.
we go to
with his dad.
1966. Yeah, we start in
Yeah,
1966.
Actually, we truly start kind of where the movie inevitably ends at, which is the shot of him at that one concert in 1988 in London. You see like the back of him really quick,
Right.
and then it jumps back.
Yeah.
So, which that was cool.
Yeah, that was great.
And right away, Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson, because he gets started pretty much right away. Because you basically see him the kids practicing the music in front of their dad.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get it right. And you already can see how much of a piece of shit Joe is, like, right away.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead.
Because I was just going to say, then we get to the part where they play at, like, is it like some local place they play at?
See, that's my problem with the movie. Like, before we go on, I wish so. In this movie, we see the Jackson 5 traveling to like waking up like early in the morning and leaving on the road, but they don't tell you exactly where they're going. So like so I guess like it's up to your interpretation, like where they started. Because like the first like gig we saw in the movie was Jackson 5 at some nightclub, I guess it was like some like
yeah, it looked like some local place. That's what I thought anyway.
Yeah, because like they're like playing like it might be a local event, like Trey said. Not sure. They really didn't tell anybody like where they were at the location, but like the Jackson 5 are performing. People are throwing money. They're like they're throwing like dollar bills and coins and like.
And you are I think we got to talk about Kid Michael too. I think he did a good job. The actor who played Kid Michael.
That kid did a really good job being child Michael Jackson. He did a really good job,
especially when he got to the Jackson 5 parts.
Yeah,
when they got popular. Like
Equally
he
to
looked it.
Jafar. Equally to Jafar.
Yes, I would say equal, very equal. But he nailed it. Like that's Jackson 5 Michael. If there's a chance I might have this over, because if you've ever seen Jackson 5 An American Dream,
I have
this
seen
point is probably the best Michael movie. But go ahead.
I've seen clips of that movie. I knew it was like I know back in the day it was like an ABC like TV movie type of deal. So I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah.
But I know Angela Bassett's in it, and I also know that Vanessa, what's her name? The one, yes, so the one that was in the movie Michael with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It wasn't the movie.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Williams, Eraser. Yeah.
So she's in the movie, but like, going back to what you're talking about, Trey, like when they get done from the gig, like it's like after. I assume it's like after midnight, and like the mom wants Catherine Jackson wants them to go to bed because they got school in the morning.
Yep.
And as soon as they go through the door, Joe's like, "No, we got to practice. We got to be perfect." And all the brothers like, "Oh, we don't want to." Michael's like, "We did good." And all of a sudden, like Joe's just like getting pissed at Michael. Yeah, because he's like,
out a belt.
Yeah, because like Joe told him to come here, and like he was looking at his mom like, "Do I have to?" He was like, "Boy, get over here. You don't think my opinion don't matter?" And that's when he took his belt off and just starts whipping like a government mule and just starts beating people. Which I was kind of surprised. Like I know it was a big part of the movie, but I was surprised they showed that in the timeline.
Yeah.
In the current time we were in the world. Yeah, like it's
because the Jackson 5 movie did show that stuff, but I didn't think they were gonna. I thought they would apply it more.
Right. I didn't think visually they'd actually show it, but I was like really surprised. But also, it's like you're just a real piece of shit, Joe.
Yeah, you really nailed it, dude. Yeah. Really, how much of a piece of shit, and how much he wanted to ride his kids' coattails. Because pretty much from here, they more and more get popular. This is when they're playing a show, and someone from the Motown studio sees them. It's like this lady.
When the movie starts, it was 1966. When we get to the part where they're performing at the Motown, I think it was like Apollo Theater. I'm not sure. That's why I assume it was. I could be wrong, but again, they didn't tell you exactly what venue they're at. But you see the Jackson 5 going there to perform, and the first person they see is Diana Ross. Now, they didn't tell everyone that was Diana Ross, but I assumed that it was Diana Ross.
Yeah, you kind of had to put two and two together.
Right. Like, so that happened. And like, Jackson 5 are performing, I can't remember what song it was, but like they're performing, they're killing it. And there's a executive from Motown, and obviously she wants to sign the Jackson 5.
Like the Jackson 5, yeah.
Yeah, to a deal, to a record deal.
And then
go ahead, Trey.
We kind of jump to them performing in the studio. This is probably where we get the funniest scene in the movie. The one guy shuts Joe down.
Yeah, he was the owner of Motown. I can't remember his name. Was it Gordon? I think something like that.
Gordon, yeah, something like that.
Gordon, something like that. And we're going to California now. Obviously, we're going to California to some big studio. The Jackson 5 are there, but they want to start with Michael. And I can't remember what song that Michael was singing, but it's in the final trailer on YouTube, right?
Yeah, you see it on the trailer. Yeah,
right.
This in the trailer.
And like Michael's like singing, he's doing good, but like you can tell like he's moving around because of the way that the audio was it was way off. You could tell he was moving around like he wasn't standing still, because Michael was still dancing, doing his thing, getting down with the music, right?
Yeah.
So they're just like saying, walk up to the mic and just start singing. Try not to move your feet as much. Blah blah blah. So he had to do like 2 takes, and then Michael's like singing now. He's singing really well. He's not moving as much. And then Joe's like, "Oh, I can make him do better. Give me 5 minutes." And the freaking the producer or the owner of Motown just totally shut Joe down. It's like, "We got this. You worry about you, and we got this part." And I'm just like, "Yeah, fuck you, Joe."
Fuck you, Joe. You wannabe musician that you clearly failed. Yeah, because people don't know. He's a failed musician.
Yes. Yep.
Because they even say in the movie that you don't want to just work at some steel mill, because he pulls them out of school.
Yep.
We didn't really talk about that part, but yeah, he pulls them out of school, which I think is after this, actually. Yeah, he pulls them out of school, the kids.
Yeah. And he's just like totally just like, he does not like view his kids to be his kids. He uses his kids for financial gain. Like he doesn't really care about them. He can say, "Oh, I love my kids." No, you saw their talent and you wanted to exploit that and to make money because you didn't want to work the 9 to 5 no more.
And you couldn't be the successul one.
Right.
So you're gonna ride their coattails.
Yep. So that's going down, and like Michael was singing I think I can't remember what song it was, but it was a Smokey Robinson song, and Michael covered it. And like you can just tell that the producer was like just taken aback, like, whoa, like
wow,
whatever.
This guy's gonna be something. They really highlight like with Kid Michael, like he's gonna be something when he becomes an adult, like in real life.
Yeah,
obviously.
So that's going down, and then we see the next scene. We have like Michael talking to Mr. Gordon. I think it's his name. I could be wrong. Mr. Gordon, his last name. He's talking to him, like teaching Michael all like the soundboard stuff. He's like, "Oh, what's this do?" And like he showed him all this, and like Joe comes in, just like all mad, like, "Michael, we got to go. It's time to go now." Like he's just like he's embarrassed for one thing, and number two, he's like, "How dare you try to be like a father to my son?" type of deal. You know what I mean? That's the way I got it, right?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. He felt like you're not his father. I'm his father, motherfucker.
Right. I'm his dad. He listens to me. You don't own him. Blah blah blah. So Michael was about to get up, and this scene right here really showed Michael's innocence as a child. Like he just gives the guy a hug, like it just like like a kid would. Just give him a hug and say, "Thanks a lot, Mr. Gordy." Or I think it was Gordy or Gordon. Like I said, excuse me, chat. I can't remember the exact name of the character, but that happens, and he's like, "Hey, Mike." He's like, "If you have any more questions," right in front of Joe, because Joe's staring a hole right at him because he's like, he's pissed because he just got a hug and he didn't. And just like Joe is just like staring a hole at him. He's like, "Hey, Mike, if you got any more other questions besides music, you let me know." Basically saying, "I know your dad's shit and he don't teach you nothing except use you."
Yep. I could be your dad kind of thing, but not in the literal sense.
Right, that father figure that Michael clearly needed. A loving father, not a father who fucking just beats your ass.
And just because granted, the Jackson 5 movie I'll give over this one, they really hammer home how bad Joe is. Like in practice, he would beat those. Like if they didn't get words right. I feel like outside that one scene, and that wasn't even really them singing, they don't show that part really. And I feel like this movie, they clearly show the abuse more towards Michael.
Yeah.
No, the other ones, he abused all his kids.
I think he definitely, I definitely know he abused all of them, but I do think Michael was the one that got all of them because like he just wanted to be a kid. He did. Yeah. You can tell he loved music, but he also wanted to be a kid, go outside and play ball with his friends.
Whereas the other kids are just kind of
right.
I guess you'd say normal.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd say it.
Well, yeah, because compared to the Jacksons, the Jackson 5, it's a totally night and day comparison, like how childhood was, like, you know what I mean, like,
yeah,
like they can go outside and play ball anytime they want. They're not on the road performing and like trying to make money for their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like that's going on, and then we have like a montage of just like them traveling the road, everything in between, and then Joe taking off his belt and just beating up Michael. And we forgot to talk about that too in the one scene where he was like, when they came out for their first gig, he starts to abuse Michael verbally, emotionally, and physically because he called him a big nose, nothing happened, and a little brat. He's like,
this is when
respect
Michael's like in his teens, like because I think at this point is where he's slowly starting to go solo, kind of thing.
Right.
Because he's in his teens at this point. Because after that, like Joe said to him, he gets the surgery.
Yeah, because this time period is 1977, I believe.
Yeah,
77 or 78, and like Michael wants to go and wants to be a solo. He wants to do his own album, and which Off the Wall is a great album, by the way.
Yeah,
it's got the song on there. It's got Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Rock With You. A lot of great songs in that album. Anyway, like the executives, like the producers, were like saying, we think, we want you to cut out your own album. Yada, yada, yada. He does so, but he tells them, "I'll cut the album, but you have to talk to Joe." Because even though Michael is somewhat of a young man, like in his teenage years, you can still tell he's very intimidated and scared.
Yeah, he's still scared of his father. He's still scared of his father at this point. Because that's the theme. Because there's something else that happens later than that culminates in the ending scene, which we'll get to.
But then we see like Michael go to the doctor's office, and like you can see like he's this is where the vitiligo was starting to come like make its surface to him, all that stuff. And like he's like at the doctor's office. He's talking to the plastic surgeon. I think he's about to get a rhinoplasty. I think that's what they call it. I'm not sure. I'm not a medical doctor.
Yeah.
But obviously he's getting his nose job. He's getting a nose job. And the doctor says, well, so you're kind of a good looking guy. I don't know why you want to get your nose fixed, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it's just too big for my face, and it's not, I have to be perfect. And that's that Joe Jackson's, Joe Jackson's mindset saying he's not good enough and he's ugly and everything between, so I have to be perfect in everything I do. And that's where you see like that's like the beginning point of the surgeries for Michael.
Yep.
Cosmetically, like the nose and everything between. But like that happens. Like he comes home, he's black and blue, he's bandaged up. He's trying to elude everybody, just get to his room. And he makes it all the way up to the hallway. Joe Jackson out of the blue was in the
comes out of his room. Yeah, he comes
out of the bathroom or something like that. Because I think he was shaving.
Yeah.
Like he was shaving.
Yeah, it was out of the bathroom. Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Michael. He's like, what's up, son? Blah, blah. And like you see like Michael's just like trembling in fear. It's like, oh no. Like I might get like hit or something now. Who knows, right? So that happens. And like he's like, Michael, I'm talking to you. Can't you hear me? Blah, blah. He's like, come here. He turns around and he sees Michael all bandaged up. Michael's scared. And he's like, what did you do? Like Joe's like visible, like you could tell like he's like maybe scared, but not really scared. Like, what happened, but he's like obviously like, what'd you do to your look? You're gonna ruin the Jackson 5 type of deal.
Yeah.
So that happens. And that whole thing goes down, right? So they do that, and then Michael's like, oh, it's from my sinuses, blah, 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 blah. So that happens, and Michael goes in his room and walks away. And then the executives come over to talk to Joe, to talk business, because they want Michael to cut the album.
Yep. And this is where the solo thing happens. And they ask him to talk to Joe, like you mentioned. And then they do talk to Joe. So this is them, we cut to them talking to Joe. And Joe basically is like, yeah, I'll do it. But 9 to 5, he's mine. I own him.
Yeah.
And it's like you see more of his mindset there.
Yeah. Like he clearly said, I own his ass. That's the exact line from the movie. I own his ass.
Yep.
And I'm just like, wow, dude. Like you just don't give a shit about your kid at all. As long as it makes you money.
He's like, yeah, you can do solo stuff, but he has to do it at like midnight.
Yeah, he can cut an album, but he got to do like around midnight. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck?
Like, what? Why do you want your son to do this shit at midnight?
Yeah, dude. Like, what in the hell are we doing?
A real father would be like, okay, we'll work around it. I'll do the music, my stuff with him at this hour. Like, no. Joe's like, no, he's gonna do it at midnight. Because I guess he sees it as, well, if he really want it, right?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
And we forgot to talk about that too. The bodyguard Bill.
Bodyguard Bill, yeah, because there's a scene.
Yeah. So when the Jacksons originally moved to California as the Jackson 5, as still young kids, Michael gets his own bodyguard, and his name was Bill. Yep. I can't remember his last name, but you can definitely tell that Michael cared about Bill and Bill cared about Michael, because Bill was kind of a father figure to him as well.
Yeah, he told this is like after this. This is when he does kind of start doing solo stuff.
Yeah. So we go to the whole like studio. I think Quincy Jones picks up Michael at the house at midnight. Legit. This is midnight. It looks like it's midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Yep, it's like night, dark, yeah.
Yeah. So Quincy Jones comes to Michael's house, picks him up, and starts talking to him. He's like, okay, you ready to cut the album? He's like, yeah. He said, but can you do me a favor, Q? Turn the lights down for me. Blah, 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 blah. So that's going on. And he turns the lights down. The speech is they give. I don't know if it's like accurate or just like one of those things for Hollywood to make it sound good, but he's like, you're bold, you're confident, you're beautiful, you're the greatest of all time. And the first song on the album is Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, that he's like recording.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you've not seen that music video or listened to that song, do yourself a favor and go listen to that, because that song is awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. So we get that, and we get like some montage of Don't Stop Till You Get Enough playing, and then we see the success that Michael's having with the whole solo album. his album went I think it went gold and platinum or whatever it was, right? All that stuff.
Yeah, because they play a little montage where they do play the song for like a second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we get that. Then we like see all kinds of fan mail and stuff like that. And like that's going on. And then all of a sudden, like they're like it's one morning. And this thing had me laughing. I was cracking up, I'm not gonna lie. It's like bright and early in the morning. Like you could see like Michael gets up and he's like, everyone come outside. I have a gift, I have a surprise, blah blah. And all the other brothers are like, what'd you do, Mike? Buy a Ferrari? Yeah, blah blah blah. He's like, no, nothing like that. And all of a sudden it's this truck with an enclosement in the back. And like all of a sudden the guy gets out of the car or the truck, goes behind there, opens up the gate, and lo and behold, we get our first scene of Bubbles in the movie.
Yep, this is where we get Bubbles. And, Michael talking to
the
him.
monkey, by the way, if you're not familiar with that.
Yeah, the monkey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, it wasn't a real monkey. It was CGI. And honestly, it looked kind of bad. I'm not going to lie about that.
It did not look good. It didn't look good, but this is all you get of him, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets him and kind of introduces him to the family, which I guess is the one moment where Joe's not a piece of shit because Joe lets him keep it.
Yeah, he just starts laughing. He's like, all right, Mike, do what you want to do. Like that kind
of. I guess do whatever. Like he gives him a look like, whatever.
Yeah, like that happens. So like, and like he's explained to his mom, he's like, Michael, you can't have a monkey in our house, blah, blah. That's a wild animal. He's like, well, he was being tested on and stuff like that. So I rescued him.
Yeah, so the rescue.
Yeah, so that happens. So then we go to the next scene. Michael's in his room talking to Bubbles. Like he's showing around his room, yada, yada, yada. And which, by the way, this room was badass. Like Michael Jackson in the movie had a freaking jukebox in his room. Like
he had like all sorts of toys and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Like this is definitely like if you're like a teenage kid, like this is like a heaven to you. It's like, oh man, this is dope, bro.
Yeah.
Like so he's just showing like the monkey, like Bubbles, all this stuff, and he's like, oh, that's my demo tapes and yada yada yada. I'm like, this is my favorite thing. This is the Peter Pan book.
Yeah.
And I do want to talk about that just for a second, Trey. Take a pause with the movie spoilers for just a second.
Yeah.
To me, this showed to me that Michael Jackson, and we can't say the word obviously because we're on YouTube, but he was definitely not a PDF file at all.
No. This pure innocence.
Yes. This guy had the mindset of a child, and people saw his kindness and his innocence and all that stuff and saw it, and they so, oh, we can use whatever we want here, we can do whatever we want, like, oh, this guy's this and that. I stand on that till I blue in the face. Michael Jackson is not a PDF file.
No,
he was just someone who was that pure at heart, had pure intentions, but it came off being very weird.
Yeah,
that's the best way I can say it. But going back to the movie, like he's showing Bubbles, like this is my favorite place. This is Neverland. Like he's showing Bubbles the book of Neverland.
Yep.
In Japan.
And keep that in mind, chat.
Yeah. Neverland, because we don't get in this movie. Well, I will say that, but maybe part 2, if there is a part 2, maybe they'll be in that one. Don't know yet. Stay tuned. But yeah, like you see what Michael's buying with his money. Like he's not buying like extravagant
luxury
stuff. Like he's
not buying a bunch of cars or anything like that.
He's buying toys. Like he's going to the toy store and buying toys.
Yeah, because you see later, him at the toy store with Quint. Well, not Quincy, his bodyguard, and then you see like a mom and her kid see him.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's just happy he made a kid happy. They really nailed that in this scene.
Oh yeah, like, and especially if there's one montage he's going to like a what. I don't know what the political term is here, but like he's going to a hospital, but it's terminally ill children. I guess that's the best word.
Yeah.
And like he's hanging out with the kids, talking to them, just having a good time with them and stuff like that. And like one kid's like, I got a dog named Max, and he's like, oh really? And like he's like going on and on. He's like, you're a poopy head. I'm like, see, I'm just like, the guy's just he was tainted as a young age because he never had a childhood.
His father. His fucking dad. That's why.
Yeah, Joe took it away from him, and I think in his mindset, if I can make a kid happy, okay, if put him like he put himself in the kid's shoes. If I was a kid, what would make me happy? I know. Let me say this X, Y, and Z, or do something like this to make me feel like, feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So
you
like
can see, because he gets home with all the toys he bought.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to play with his brothers, but his brothers are older now.
Right.
They're getting dates. They're talking about like, oh, I'm going to go see a girl.
Yeah,
They're hanging out with friends. They have more of a normal teenager life, I guess.
Yeah, and like Jermaine already left the Jackson 5. He stayed in Motown. He didn't go with them when they went to CBS or whatever the label company was. I think it was Epic, I believe. But like, he stayed with Motown because he already had a family. I think Jermaine already had a family and kids. So I could be wrong, but like they said that in the thing, and Michael's like, "You guys aren't fun no more." His biggest thing was he just bought Twister for like
Twister. Yeah.
And like he's playing with Bubbles.
Yeah, he's playing with Bubbles, and that's like where you see he's starting to grow attachments elsewhere because it's like I said, his brothers are living the more normal teenager life now. They're going on dates, hanging out with friends, going out.
Yeah.
But then we see a scene later where his father wants to jump on his solo career. And he's like, we're going to do a Jackson's reunion tour. And you can see in Mike's face, he did not want to do it.
No. And you can also see
mentioned. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll go after that. Go ahead.
Because he was saying, like, you can see in his face, because he mentions later when he talks to his guard, because he storms off after. Before he argues with his dad, which I will get to that real quick. But yeah, he mentioned later that he wanted to do his own solo tour.
Yeah. And they
can go on what you're saying.
Well, they asked us, well, is Jermaine going to be a part of it? And they're like, no, Jermaine made his decision when he stayed in Motown, blah, 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 blah. So Jermaine's not going to be on the tour with them anyway. But like,
so it's not even the real Jackson 5, basically.
No, not at all. And like, and Michael's just there like, you got to be kidding. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to do my own thing. And like, Joe was like, he told Joe, and they all called their dad Joseph. They never called him dad. I think that was like one of those things, like, they referred to
Catherine. He called him by his name. Yeah, they called him Catherine Mom.
Yeah,
so
they called him. Yeah.
So they did the normal parent thing with her, but they didn't call Joe dad at all.
No, they just called him Joseph or Joe. So that happens, and Michael's like, I gotta think, and he's like, Joe, exact words in the movie, he's like, I told you what to think. He's like, what? You think you're better than me? Like, you think you're better than me, than your mother and your brothers, and like.
Yeah, he's trying to make it seem like he's acting like Michael's having this big ego because he got solo when that's not
being selfish little prick. It's like, no, like you can definitely tell the Jackson 5 kind of ran its course. It's Michael's turn.
Yeah,
like, it's
Michael's time. You could tell we were getting there.
Yeah, because
Michael had to spread his wings.
Yeah, because I'm not going to say like the other Jacksons, like, oh, well, they did music, but they didn't they didn't love it like Michael did. I'm not going to say that, but it's just like the way it was portrayed in the movie is like they had other interests than music.
Yeah, because you could tell they were athletic because they were playing basketball that one scene.
Yeah,
you can tell there's a possibility they could get into sports. So yeah, Michael storms off.
Yeah, Michael storms off. He tells Bill, he's like, "Take me anywhere." He just wants to get out of there, and like he's driving away.
When he drives away, there's like an audience of people at his house, which is crazy, by the way.
Oh yeah, dude! Can you imagine that? People just be at your house constantly, and just like
by your gate when you're trying to leave.
Yeah, it's like okay.
I like that Michael played it off though. He was still waving at people. He was still so they just go off on their own. They go off to like.
We skipped that scene. We skipped that scene, Trey, because I forgot when all that fan mail was coming in. LaToya and him were in his room. And he's like, well, you got a lot of fans. Like, no, these aren't my fans. These are my family. Like, these are my family members. Some of the fans. I'm like, that's pretty cool because we usually got people like that. It's like, oh, they're my fans. No big fucking deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he looked at them as his family. I like that.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he cared about his fan base. But like that happens going on, and like Bill takes them all the way to I think it was the Hollywood sign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I want to do my own thing, Bill. He said, Joseph's just really pissing me off. He's like, he's not, he still wants me to do the Jackson 5, and I don't want to do it. And that's when Bill's like, well, maybe you should try to move out. He's like, I'm not ready for that. And, but he's like, you got to do your own thing now, Michael. You're not a little boy anymore. So this is the part when we see Michael step up and it's like, I have to do what's best for me now. And this is what's best for me is do my own solo album. Trey, you want to cover? You want to pick it up from there real quick?
So yeah, he signs with a new like music studio basically, but he tells them the caveat is, "Can you fire my dad for me?"
Yeah. So Michael goes to a law goes to a lawyer consultation, whatever I guess you could say. Like he's at a firm, a lawyer firm.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of lawyers there, like at this round table with this meeting with Michael. And like Michael's listening to all of them. And the guys, what was his name, Trey? The one that played, it was Miles Teller, but who was what was the guy's name? It was a Mr. Yeah, it was like Mr. It was something like Breaker or Beaker, something like that.
Bronca. John Bronca is who he played.
Okay, yeah. So that was the character's name for Miles Teller. And like they're all the other lawyers are kind of like bullshitting him, and like he's just straight up with them, like, you want to be your own man, you want to do your own thing, you want to be the best thing of all time, blah blah blah. And he's like, "Who are you?" And he's told him what his name was. Like, "Oh, you represent the Beach Boys."
Beach Boys. You mentioned Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond. I think he said Madonna, and I think he also said
Madonna. Yeah.
Did he also say Billy Joel? Or am I making that up?
Possibly. Yeah, I think I did hear Billy Joel too. Yeah, okay. He represented a few like big '80s singers at the time.
Yeah, because he mentioned the Beach Boys and said Brian Wilson was the greatest songwriter out of all of them, or something like that. I think it's what he said. But anyways, that's going on. Like Michael's like, the other guy's like, "We're sorry." He spoke out of turn. He's like, "No, I like him. He's my guy." He said, "Can you all leave the room, please? Please." And they all leave the room. And it's just him. He's like, "You're hired." He said, "But." He said, "I need you to do me a favor. I need you to fire my dad." He's like, "You want me to fire your dad?" He's like, "Yes, I want you to fire Joseph." He's like, "Man, immediately." Again, Michael was scared to confront Joe one-on-one. So that's what we got here.
That's the theme throughout the movie.
But what had me dying was, I'm like, Miles Teller's character didn't go tell Joe in person. He fired him over a fax machine.
Fax machine, yeah, sent him a letter.
And I started dying. I'm like, man, I've heard that story so many times back in the day. It's like, oh, I was fired through FedEx or I was fired through fax. And like Joe's like pissed. Like he's like, you can see like Catherine is upstairs with LaToya, like trying on clothes. And Joe's like, "LaToya, get the hell out of the room." Like he's just really pissed.
Yeah, he tells LaToya to leave.
Yeah.
And he's just fuming. He's like, "No, I'm gonna hit that boy when he gets back." And this is probably her Nia Long. Jeez, I almost said the other name. Nia Long.
Yeah.
But this is probably her best scene in the movie, though. Nia Long.
Yeah.
When she stands up to Joe and it's like, "No, you're not gonna hit him anymore.
You're not gonna hit any of the boys anymore. They're grown men that got their own path." And he's like, and she's like also saying, "You're also not gonna," she also implicated like, "And you're not gonna hit me either." Like he just backed down big time.
Yeah, he backed out.
Yeah, he's quick. Like, he said, "After all I've done for that boy, and this is what he does to me, blah 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 blah." And like she's like, if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have this. And she spoke up and said, "If it wasn't for Michael, we wouldn't have this." Like she put Joe in his place. Like
she put Joe in his place and basically really emphasized it was Michael who got us here.
Yep. And the next scene had me cracking up though, Trey, is when the giraffe is eating off the tree, and Joe's like, "What the hell?" Like,
what the hell? Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's like, yeah, you didn't have a freaking giraffe. That's Michael. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, that's when you just got fuck you money. You can afford exotic animals that just like have everyday pets like dogs. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So we're getting that, and like Michael's like celebrating, he's ready to go, and like he's hanging out with Bubbles, having ideas in his head for the next album, which is going to be Thriller. And like Michael tells Bubbles, "I'll be back. I'm going to get some ice cream for us, blah, blah, blah," which I don't think it's a good idea to give a monkey ice cream, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like you see him go into the kitchen and like he's getting ice cream ready out of the fridge. All of a sudden, when he shuts the fridge door, Joe's there with a piece of paper, and he's fuming. And like Michael's like total demeanor is like, oh no, like totally just.
Yeah, because
First,
this
he was
is
all
where,
happy. Next minute, he's like, oh, this is my reality now.
and you could tell Joe's trying to hold himself back from hitting Michael. You could tell.
Yeah, you can tell. Definitely tell that.
Like he's like trying not to truly explode, but he's like, because he has like that. He told kind of, you're gonna regret this kind of thing.
Yep. And like he throws the piece of paper at the fax machine paper, and he's like, "Read that." Michael, now Michael doesn't read out loud, so I guess Michael was just like that was like one of those things like read that like to yourself. Is like you fired your own father for a fax, and he's like, "You're selfish." He's like, "I can't believe you would do this to me." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then Joe leaves the room. Michael is smiling ear to ear. He's like, "Okay, now I have the freedom to do what I want to do." So Michael's trying to come up with ideas with songs. Like we see like a whole like I guess you could say like a vision board or like a what's he want to do? Like he's like showing all the songs. Like he's like showing like from the album Thriller like Billie Jean. Trying to think what else is on that album. I can't think of the top of my head.
Is Beat It on that album?
I think so.
Because
Yeah,
there is a Beat It scene. And I love how he gets the actual people, because I think weren't they like actual gangsters? He got
they're actually Crips and Bloods, which was crazy to me. It's like, what, you're able to pull that off? Like, what the fuck?
And then one of them like asked Mike, as long as you give me a fucking was like an autograph.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but it's for my sister. It's like,
For my sister. Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
he's like, I'll give everyone autographs. I love that part.
Yeah, and like Michael's like, I forgot there was one scene now. Like Michael's coming up with all these ideas, and like he comes up with obviously he comes up with Thriller, and like they shoot the music video and everything. And this is the scene where I'm talking about. Like I saw this, and I'm like, I couldn't tell the difference between like I'm like, is this the actual music video?
Yeah, it's a one-to-one recreation. Like he really recreated the Thriller music video.
Yeah. And like he did to a T, and it was great. And he's like telling like he's telling like the director, he's like, well, Charlie Chaplin always had like head to toe to show everyone what he was doing, and that's what they do for the music video. But he freaking killed it in that shit, dude. Jafar did. He killed it.
Yeah.
Everything.
He nailed that part. And then we get to when he's making Beat It, and man, that part's really good too.
There's one part I want to talk about, Trey, real quick before we move on to the Beat It part, because I was dying in the theater when I saw that. We know the part when he's on the walk trying to come up on music and he's walking his pet llama down the street.
Yeah.
I was dying. I'm like, could you imagine seeing Michael Jackson walking down the street walking his pet llama?
With a llama. Yeah.
like what the hell is this? Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, but going back to the whole like Beat It thing, like we see like Michael in the studio, and we can see again that Michael's got another nose job again.
Yep.
He's bandaged up, so he's got another nose job. So there's that. And Michael's watching the news, talking about how the gang violence in California is really bad with the the Bloods and Crips. So that's when Michael gets the idea for doing would Beat It, and he tells his bodyguard Bill. He's like, can you pull this off, and can you get the Bloods and Crips together so we can talk? Blah, blah, blah. So we get that, and Michael goes in some like dingy, like, I don't know what, studio or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So they go there, and like it's like they're talking, and he's like, I want to put you guys in my music video, all of you. And he's like, okay, cool. Like then, he's like, and they're going through the choreography for Beat It. And again, Jafar nails it, dude. Jafar
really nails it behind, because it transitions. It's from behind the scenes to the actual music video, to the actual song. Yep. Like the way they smoothly did. They did that with Thriller too. They did that with both of them.
Yeah,
where it was like a smooth transition from the behind the scenes to actually the music video.
Yeah, and then we see like Michael in the studio with Quincy Jones, like recording a song, and like you hear like the guitar part, and he's like, "That's some Van Halen shit." Which, by the way, was a nod because Eddie Van Halen, did do the guitar solo for Michael Jackson.
He actually plays the solo for it.
Yeah,
that's why Beat It's my favorite song, because it is the most rock feeling song of all of them. That solo always gets me, man.
Yeah. Probably my favorite song on Thriller is probably Billie Jean. That song is
Billie
just
Jean's good
dope.
too, which
Yeah.
they do that one for that too. We get a
Yeah.
little thing
So
with Billie Jean,
yeah,
which
so
actually is a live performance, right? That
yeah,
was
we're
actually
at
live.
the I think it was the 25th anniversary for Motown, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the anniversary show for Motown. Michael goes in there and performs Billie Jean. I was gonna say Billy Joel, Billie Jean, and this is the debut of the Moonwalk. And again,
Yep.
Jafar nailed everything about
It
this.
really felt like we were just in a time capsule, actually just watching Michael Jackson in real time.
Yeah, because like I said, there's many times I watched the movie. I'm like, I totally like lost myself. I'm like, oh, this is not
Yeah.
Jafar anymore.
I'm
This is
immersed.
Michael.
Yes. Yes, this is not Jafar. Yes. You
Yeah.
exactly nailed it. This isn't Jafar anymore. This is
No.
actually Michael. Especially,
Yeah.
I think for me, it was the Beat It part and Thriller. It was both sides. Those scenes were exactly what that personified.
Yeah.
Those scenes. But even this one, when he gets the moonwalk, the moment it happens, oh man, my theater popped.
See,
They
my theater
popped when
didn't.
it happened.
My theater didn't do that much because I'm just gonna be real. Pretty much my theater is pretty much old fogies. Like they're just like old people that have nothing to do. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll just go watch the movie and go to bed after this later on the night. So
Yeah.
my theater was kind of bland, but legit. When I was in my chair listening to the songs, I was legit going like I was, bopping my head and like dancing on my feet, I guess you can say. It's like because it's hard not to move, dude. It's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and I love that they didn't just play the whole song because there's some music biopics that just do that to fill airtime, where they just play the whole song just to fill airtime.
Right.
I'm happy they didn't do that. They played a lot of the song, but they didn't just play the entire song to fill airtime.
And going back to the Thriller album, we've talked about that too. Or the part where Mike was trying to come up with all the ideas he wants to do for the album. There was a scene where all the brothers and Mike was at the pool hanging out with his brothers. And like he's like playing like it looked like he was like playing the piano in the water, right? Like whatever, right? And they're like, Mike, what are you doing? He's like, God's giving me words to speak in my next album. He said, if I don't listen, he's gonna give him to Prince, and I died.
That was oh yeah, there was a shot at Prince in this movie.
I was dying.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, he's like, if I don't listen, God give Prince all the words. I'm like, yo, whoa. I started cracking up on that.
They did have a little rivalry a lot of people don't know.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. I think it was more. I think it was more professional rivalry than it was personal.
Professional, very professional. It was just like I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you.
And which, in my humble opinion, I'm not just saying this to be like a controversial person. Michael is better than Prince.
I love Prince. Michael's better. Not even close. The only person I have above Michael, I told Tyler this, and it's not like I have him heavily above. It's just how I'm feeling at the moment. Phil Collins is probably the only person. Well, Freddie Mercury. Okay, two people. Phil Collins and Freddie Mercury are probably the only two people I put above Michael. Now, that's about it.
Like to me, like all around performer, you can't touch Michael Jackson.
Yeah, performer wise, it's Michael.
Yeah. It's like Elvis. I think like you're like performance wise, Elvis is number 2. But like the whole total package, like dance, song, play the instrument. Prince probably, obviously Prince was probably better than Michael when it came to instruments, but like Michael was just way better singer, way better, more entertainer, and
more iconic songs.
Yeah, and Michael had more moves than anything, dude. Like his moves were just you can't touch it. It's like
he was a generational talent, just in general.
Dude, look, if I was in that time period, if I was a performer and like I saw Michael Jackson doing like triple spins, like standing on his toes, doing the moonwalk, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I am so done.
Michael Jackson was the one guy, because y'all know I'm a metalhead. Michael Jackson was the one guy that even metalheads will be like, you know what, we love Michael. They respect him. Like most, even if you just listen to one specific genre, he breaks that. Like, no, Michael, everybody says he is it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what was it, Dirty Diana? I think that Slash played on that album. Like he played the solo. So yeah, but going back to the movie, we're going back to Motown. Like, everyone's like having a good time. Everyone's like going backstage, and we see Mr. Gordy. I think it's Mr. Gordy or Gordon that ran Motown Records.
Yeah.
He comes up to Michael and he's like, "That was amazing. I'm so proud of you." Blah 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 blah, and like everyone's giving him his flowers, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, here comes
It's
in
Gordy.
and takes the spotlight. Is Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson. Yep, he
And he's
hogs
like,
the spotlight.
That's my boy right there. That's my boy. He killed it tonight. And it's just like,
And you could tell it's performative too.
yeah. Even though in his mind he thought like what he was doing, like praising Michael, was like a fatherly,
Like a normal father thing, but it's
Right.
like
it's like no,
You don't-
you're just trying to take the spotlight away because you don't want people to say that you're not talented like Michael, right?
yeah.
So, and I think one of even the family members, I think it was Tito, like Thomas, you couldn't just give him one night. He's like, what are you talking about, boy? What you talking about? You know, that type of shit. But yeah, so it's like, but the Motown scene, going back to like the whole dancing and the moonwalk and stuff. Jafar killed it, man.
Yeah.
He was great.
You got immersed in that movie. You get immersed in this movie.
Dude,
yeah.
I can't tell you how many times when I was a kid, like when I was like a lot skinnier and a lot, less heavy. I couldn't tell you how many times I tried to do the moonwalk, the triple spin, and the freaking toe thing. I couldn't tell you how many times I tried that shit.
I don't know how many times I think Bait beat it. Man in the Mirror. That's another one. I wish they showed that in the movie. But I don't know if that was later though. It could be a later song.
It was in the final cut, but they cut it out because, like I said, this movie it was like going to be 4 hours. So
maybe they'll show some of it in because Man in the Mirror is so good.
Oh, Man in the Mirror is a great song.
That's probably my second favorite song of his.
Probably the most controversial song that might be in the next movie. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It might be They Don't Care About Us.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna get into that. So if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you know that song, you know what I'm referencing to. So there's that.
Yeah.
But it is a good song though. But yeah. But yeah, so we get all that, and like in the next scene, like we have out of all people, now this is the one that shocked me the most. We see Joe Jackson in his house, in his office.
Yep.
Hanging out with no other than Don King.
Don fucking King has a random cameo in this. He's in like 2 scenes because he's in the scene later.
Right.
But I think he wants Michael. Is it like he? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if the audience don't know who my Don King is, which I'm pretty sure everyone probably does, but Don King was the former manager of Mike Tyson at the time.
Yeah, he's a boxing promoter too.
Right.
Very famous one.
Right. And like when I saw him, like my mouth opened. I'm like, what? I didn't know this.
Don King's in this movie? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was a total disconnect. I was like, whoa, what? Like,
what?
I was surprised. And the guy that plays the Old Spice commercials, I think, was him.
And he looks like him. I'll admit, he looks like him at like straight up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's Don King. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Whoever did the casting for this movie, I just want to say that too. Whoever did the casting, they deserve a raise because it was fucking.
Yeah, give them a raise. Give them more movies because whoever casted this casted their asses off.
Yeah, dude. They did a great job. But like we have like Joe talking to Don King. He's like, "You ever thought about getting to the music industry?" And he's like, well, "What do you mean by that?" And he's like, "Well, no one knows this but you." He said the Jackson 5 are going back on tour, and we're taking this everywhere, international and stuff like that. And we got everyone like saying, he's like, "Okay, they're all on board." He's like, "Yes, sir." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "But is Michael on board?" And when he said that, Joe's like, "Fuck," pretty much in his head.
Joe has that face like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. He's like, and that's what he said too. Don King said that. "You're not trying to bullshit me, are you, Joe?" Which, honestly, it's pretty much two bullshitters bullshitting each other. Because Don King,
he's a bullshitter. He is a king bullshitter if you know boxing.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like Don King's a piece of shit human being too. I'm just gonna keep it real. Like he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like because he fucked over Mike Tyson on money too. So a lot of people.
Yeah, he fucked a lot of people out of money.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to like again, that's my motto: sacks of shit attract other sacks of shit. So there's that. But like we get that scene. Then we have another scene of Michael hanging out with his mom. You can definitely tell he loved his mother. Really loved his mom.
Yeah, because they're watching movies, which I love how the one for Thriller, one of the inspirations, he was just watching a movie.
Vincent Price. He was watching a Vincent Price vampire movie, I think it was, or Dracula or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Then he's just hanging out with his mom watching movies. Like that was the one scene where he felt like you know what?
Normal.
I'm okay being here. Like he felt normal.
Yeah. And like
So
him and his mom are eating popcorn or eating ice cream. They're watching Three Stooges and Charlie Chaplin movies, et cetera, et cetera. And like Catherine goes to bed. It's like, just clean up when you're done, and I'll see you in the morning, blah blah. So he does that. Michael's singing in his head, turn off the lights, turn off the TV, and he's going to his room. All of a sudden, Michael goes up the stairs. He turns, makes the right to the room, opens up the door, and he opens it up and sees Joe sitting there on his bed, and Michael just freaks out.
Yeah.
And you can just tell, like, oh no, I don't want to deal with this right now. Like, again, you can clearly tell he was very intimidated by Joe Jackson, right?
Yeah, he didn't like being around him. No, you could tell.
No, because I don't think he could trust him to knew what he was going to do. Like, honestly, is he going to talk to me or is he going to beat me again? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always that psyche in the back of his head. It's like, I don't know what I don't know what else to do here. But anyways, we do that. He's telling Michael to sit down. He's like, come sit down with me, son. He's like, you got this all this records and stuff like that. And then Michael just like he's standing by the door. He's like, Joe, I know you want something. What is it? And he's just like,
he didn't know that at this point you want something out of me.
Right.
Clearly. Because Joe's just doing, oh son, I'm doing normal father things, but it's like, no, you want something.
It's like, hey, son, how was your day today? You go.
We did with our parents. Let's be real. We did that with our parents because there was a moment where my mom did that. I'm like, Trey, what do you want? You want something, clearly.
Yeah. You don't come butter me up unless you want something, son. Like, let's just be real. But like Joe is doing that to Michael, and he's just like, well, he said, your brothers need this. And he always said that your brothers need this. They need this recognition, that they need this money. No, Joe. You needed this money, and you need this.
It was you, Joe.
Yeah,
it was him. Clearly, he was the one, but he used it with his brothers because you could tell later part they didn't really care about the music like that.
No, again, you can tell that they enjoyed the music, but Michael was the one that actually loved music
and lived it.
Yeah, he ate, slept, and breathed music. That was his life.
Yeah,
but Joe's like, well, your brothers need to, we need this tour. They need this tour, and we got to go international and stuff like that. And you're going to be a part of it. And then Michael's like Michael's pretty much flabbergasted. Like, you can tell, like, the one part where Joe walks up to him, there's a shot that Michael grabs the door on the handle of the bedroom door. He just grabs it on tight, like he was scared for dear life. And you can definitely tell. Again, he's intimidated by Joe.
He's probably worried, oh, is he going to beat me right now?
Yeah, so he's like, is he gonna beat me into agreeing to this? Right? So there's that. Joe's like, so you're gonna do it. I'll see you in the morning. And then Michael's just like, you gotta be kidding me right now. Like, this is bullshit, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now we're going into the famous, or probably infamous, I guess you can say, Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, because it's what, 1984 now?
I think so. They didn't really tell us so until like later on. What was it that, or was it 88?
Because there's a shot of the door. Because there's a shot of the door closing. You see 84.
Okay, so it might be.
That's how they. So it might be 84 at this point. And yeah, the infamous Pepsi.
Yeah,
incident
commercial. Oh, dude. So people who don't know, Michael and his brothers were doing a commercial for Pepsi because Pepsi wasn't sponsored for the world tour that the Jackson 5 were going on, right?
Yep.
So in the movie, we see that Michael's heart's not into it. Like they've done like 6 takes. Michael's just checked out with the Jackson 5. He wants to do his own thing.
He's just owning it. He's going through the motions. That's what we call it.
Yeah, he's just doing it because he loves his brothers and loves his family. Because Joe's like, oh, well, you don't do this, you don't love your family, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
pretty much guilt tripping him into doing so. So that happens. That's going on, and like the director's like, all right, Mike, just go up there. And we're gonna do this again. He's like 6 times the charm, right? And then like Michael's looking at Tito, and Tito's looking at him like, I don't want to do this shit either. Like, I'm done too. Like, I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
So we get that. And there's a lot of pyrotechnics in this movie or in this commercial. So Michael's walking down this stage grid or whatever. So the stage comes apart. Like, Michael's like, it's a what do you say, Trey? A magnetic stage, like it comes like it goes in and goes out, like breaks apart and goes back together when someone
Yep.
like walks through it, right?
Yep. It's supposed to be like a dramatic effect for like commercials or music videos, right?
Yeah, or like professional wrestling. Like me and Trey, we're big fans of professional wrestling. Which, by the way, we have a channel called Pin Down Podcast. If you'd like to
Yeah.
check that out,
Subscribe to it. We
Yes,
will be
subscribe
back
to it.
next Saturday. Or no, we'll be doing something on Monday.
Yeah, I think we're
But-
dropping a video, so there's that. So
Dropping
stay
a
tuned for
video
that on
before
Pin
we're
Down.
live next Saturday. Anyway.
But that's going on. So Michael's walking down, and all of a sudden, all the hair product that's what I assumed it was, because
It was hair product. It was the
Yeah.
80s. That's everyone you
lots of
do.
hairspray,
hair
lots
product.
of gel, probably. You know what I
Puffy
mean?
hair. Look at hair metal bands.
Right.
Just big puffy hair. That was just it at
So
the time.
Michael's walking down the steps, and all of a sudden, the pyrotechnics go off behind him, and the pyro catches his hair on fire. And I
Yeah.
don't think Michael knew what happened until he reached the bottom of the steps, and that's when he's like,
Yep.
starting
And
to
he
burn.
started to feel the burns. Yeah.
Right.
Because he started screaming here.
Right. So
and then I
that's
think they realized the people were, oh shit, this is actually real.
right. So they're all running towards him, trying to put him out because, like, it's pretty severe. I mean, someone just caught on fire, et cetera, et cetera. So Michael's like
Yeah.
getting wheeled out. He's going to the hospital and getting out of the ambulance. Like he's like waving to his fans, but he's in severe pain, right?
Yeah.
So we do that, and we go to the hospital scene. The whole family's there in the waiting room. Joe is impatient. You can just tell he did not care at all. He just want to know if
No.
his cash cow was okay. That's it. So that's going down. That happens, and all of a sudden the doctor comes out. He's like, well, he said, I'm going to tell you what happened, blah, blah. He's got severe nerve damage on top of his head. He's lucky that it didn't go to his eyes or, caught his entire body on fire. And everyone's just like, oh, thank God he's okay. Like the mom, Catherine and the brothers and LaToya.
Yeah.
But the first thing Joe says, and I swear to God is what he says, will he be able to perform again or is he done? Not asking if
Yeah,
he's okay. Can I
Not
see
at-
him? Nothing. Is he okay?
Not yet. Can I see him? No. Is my cash cow okay to perform again so I
Yeah.
can get more cash?
And on the entire family's just like, you've got to be kidding me right now, right?
They have he's like, no, I'm not gonna lie. Catherine gives them a look like, you piece of shit.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Even the doctor
kind
got testy with them too. I know it's a movie, so it's Hollywood, so they're gonna amp it up. It's like even the doctor's like, Mr. Jackson, your son almost died. Like he could've
yeah,
died.
like, he said it very sarcastic, like, bro, your son almost died, and that's your worry right now.
That's your first reaction. That's your first reaction. Now I will say the one thing though, Trey, that with the movie you were talking about earlier, the Jackson, what was it? The Jackson
Jackson 5 and American Dream.
Yeah. Now I could be wrong, but that one they showed that Joe went into like the hospital room and blamed himself, right?
Yeah, they were a little bit more, I will say, neutral on Joe. Like, they showed him doing bad stuff, but they did show him doing good. They
Right.
didn't, like, this movie, they more leaned into him being a piece of shit.
Now I do know that the mom, Catherine, she's still alive. Which, by the way, she just turned like 95 years old a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So she had final say in all this stuff, and obviously Joe Jackson's passed away; he's gone. So I don't know if like this is like an accurate description of Joe Jackson. If Catherine's like, yeah, this is what happened, blah blah blah, put it in the movie. This is what we're doing. I don't know, but that's what they did. So like Joe's doing that. Michael's in severe pain. The doctor's coming in there and telling him like, well, you have a bald spot right here. We're gonna need some surgeries, to fix this
Yeah.
issue. And he's like, you're gonna have to wear a hairpiece. He's like, oh, so I have to wear an entire wig. He's like, we don't know yet until later on. And he's just like really like just depressed. Like you can tell Michael's just like, I can't believe this happened. Like this is just,
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So that's going on. He's in ICU. He's in I think he's in the burn victim center or area,
Yeah.
right? So that's that. Then everyone's just trying to make Mike feel better. Like Bill went to like 12 different like restaurants for Michael. All of his favorite foods, like Chinese food, fried chicken, pizza, like you name it. Like this guy had all
He got all of it for Michael.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to make Michael feel better, dude.
Well, like, And then again, you don't see Joe Jackson in the hospital room at all.
No.
Not one time.
No, not
Like I
once.
said, you
He's
can
just
definitely
like waiting
tell.
for his cash cow just to get better.
Yeah, like you can definitely tell who loved Michael and who just wanted to use Michael. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like again, Bill seemed like a real father figure to Michael. Like really cared for Michael as a son. Because he always said when he saw him, like, well, son, you gotta do this and do that. Blah blah.
Yeah, he treated him like the father that Joe was supposed to be.
Yeah. So like Michael's like, I'm okay, Bill. I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna watch Pinocchio. And like he's watching Pinocchio. He's like, okay, so well, I'm gonna be out here, blah blah. So Catherine's in there, and she's like, she pretty much apologizes for Michael for not protecting him more when he was a child.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And he's like, I don't want to talk about this, mother. I just want to get some rest. And like he turns his back to her, and like you can definitely tell he's like, he's emotional, he's crying, stuff like that. And then like he told his mom, which I thought was kind of it was a very like forgiving moment, but also just like there's nothing really you could have done anyways, mom, like type of deal. Like he told her, like, it's not your fault. Joseph is just too pushy. He gets his way one way or another.
And then she confronts Joe, basically telling him it was your. I think this is where they're back at the house at this point.
Yeah, they're back in his office. Like he's like telling her, like, we gotta go back on tour with Michael.
Yep. Because this is when Michael's still in the ICU, by the way.
ICU still. Yep.
Still recovering. Because there's also, I think, didn't fans send him stuff too? Because there was like a bunch of flowers in that one scene.
Oh yeah, there were so many like people were outside his room, like on the outside of the streets, like yelling Michael's name and stuff. Like, that happens. So like, we see like his manager, what's his name? Trey Miles Teller's character,
Bronca, John Bronca.
So he visits Michael. He's got Mickey Mouse plushie doll, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So that's going on, and like he's visiting Michael. He's like, "How you feeling?" He's like, "Well, the doctor said I'm healing nicely." Blah blah. He's like, "But I feel sorry for being here with all these kids." He's like, "Because all these kids are like severely burned and stuff like that."
Yeah.
So like he told him, he's like, "Hey, the money that I made off of Thriller, I want to donate $7 million to the burn victim unit here to the center, so they can upgrade their stuff." Well, honestly, what kind of person would freaking just donate $7 million out of the blue?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Fuck these people. As long as I'm well, fuck them.
Yep. But Michael's like, nope, donate it.
Yeah, like you can tell he's got a heart. Michael Jackson had a heart. And he was just pure. He was pure in his thoughts. Like, you know what I mean? Like in his heart.
Yeah.
But like, we get that, and he's like, I'm going back on. He's like, I'm going to continue the tour. And he's like, are you sure about that? He's like, yeah, I'm going to continue the tour. So he goes back to his room. He's like, did you bring the Mickey Mouse doll? And he's like, yeah, I did. He's like, I thought I'd cheer you up. He's like, it did. He's like, all right, Bill, I'll see you later. Blah, blah.
And then he's reading a book, which I think it's Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
Because he sees the Neverland thing, which gives him an idea. The little hint towards the actual Neverland he inevitably makes.
Yeah, so that's going on too, and like,
I did like the scene with Catherine telling off fucking Joe about like it was your pyrotechnics, it was your idea to put him on tour.
This whole thing's your fault. That's why he's like the way he is. Yeah.
Yep. And Joe's just like flabbergasted and just kind of walks off.
Yeah, and we get that scene. Like, also, I'm trying to think too. I think they're still talking about like Billie Jean, I think.
Yeah.
And they're telling like, because Billie Jean just came out apparently. So Billie Jean just came out, the music video did, but it won't be played on MTV. And finally, they go to the guy who owns CBS Records or whatever the case was. They go there and tell him, hey, I want to be on MTV. And he's like, Mike, I've tried getting your music on there, blah, blah, blah. It just won't happen. He's like, because it's because you're black. He said it's on BET, no problem, but not MTV. And that's when he tells him, I'm trying my best. And he's like, it'll all do with love and respect. Try harder. So the guy who owns CBS Records tells his secretary, he's like, yeah, give me the number at MTV. Calls MTV up, and literally threatens to pull every artist at CBS on MTV who are white off of MTV because Michael's not on there. Like he mentioned, like what was like Billy Joel, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, because at the time MTV was more, I'm not gonna say towards white people, but they were more doing like rock and
yeah. So that happened, and like he told him, like, you don't do this, I'm pulling all my people off of MTV, all their music videos. And lo and behold, they caved and they showed Billie Jean. And I think Billie Jean was one of the highest music videos at the time. I think the highest one was Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, what the whole stop animation and clay animation, whatever it was.
yeah.
So yeah, but like, again, Michael, like we see Michael go down the street and he's trying to go to his car in New York City. He just gets on the car and just like stares at the people and just starts waving. Like there's a sea of people like several blocks. Like honestly, like we'll never see that again. That type of star power of Michael Jackson.
He was, if you think 80s, he's like one of the faces.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
He may have been the face. You could make an argument.
I think, I think like he's up there with Mr. T. He's up there with Hulk Hogan. He's up there with Cyndi Lauper. Michael Jordan. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was up there. Like he was that, Michael Jackson was that mega star. He was a household name. And like he had so much star power. It was ridiculous, man. Like he had like he had a light to light up a room. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was just that big of a star. He was larger than life.
You know, obviously I wasn't alive in the 80s, but even in the 2000s, he still had that aura about him.
Oh yeah. So we get that, and then we get the Jackson tour with the Jacksons, right?
Yep.
So we get that tour, which is presented by Pepsi, by the way. So it's at Chavez Ravine in LA, which is Dodger Stadium now. So they're doing a concert there. Michael and all them are performing. They're performing one of their songs, the Jackson 5 songs. Then Michael is performing Human Nature solo, which again, Jafar nailed out the fucking park.
Yeah.
It was so good, dude. that rendition of Human Nature was awesome.
That's such a good song, dude.
Yeah. Like again, like the choreography, everything in between, everything was great. Like I said, Jafar did a great job. And then now this is where the part where you see Jafar turn into later Michael Jackson, and it got scary for me. I'm like, holy shit. I'm seeing Michael Jackson
in real time. Like, did he just morph into Michael Jackson like the real one?
Yep.
It was scary. It was low-key scary at times. I'm like, bro.
So
I'm like actually just watching Michael.
Dude, it was scary. Like I said, it was like actually watching Michael come back to be in this movie. Like, it was just like, whoa, dude, like this is heavy stuff right here. So like, he's singing Human Nature. He's at the people like eating out of the palm of his hand. People are like, women are passing out. People are crying in the crowd. Blah, blah, whatever the case may be, right? So he's singing the song. And in the background, we get like Joe talking to all these like reporters and like everything between. He's like, "Oh yeah, the Jackson 5 is going international. We're going."
He's trying to soak in on his son's popularity again.
Yeah. So we're going to Japan. We're going internationally. We're going everywhere around the world. Jackson 5 is. He's like, we're the Coca-Cola of music. We're a brand. And I'm just like, all right. It's just like, so that's fun.
Jesus.
Yeah. But before he told, we did the concert. I forgot about that scene too. He told Bill, his bodyguard, he's like, tonight's the night. This is the end of the Jackson 5. So no one knew. The brothers didn't know. Anybody didn't know. So like they come back and perform a song. Michael comes back.
They're performing a song.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just doing their reunion tour.
Yeah.
And Michael does the big announcement.
Yeah. So we get Joe Jackson at the side of the stage in the back looking at the boys like they're all performing. And like Michael's like, it's been a great 20 years, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, can we turn the music down? And then now this is where it starts to get heavy. He said out of the blue, tonight is the last night of the Jackson 5. This is our farewell tour as a group.
And he's looking at Joe.
Looking right at Joe, like saying, we're done. I'm calling it quits. You don't tell me when it's done. I'll tell you when it's done, type of deal.
And Joe is just like, wow.
He's puzzled, like, And like Dodger Stadium probably holds like probably 60,000, 70,000 fans. Like this movie, like portrayed it was sold out. So whatever the
Yeah.
case may be for Dodger Stadium, right? Like he just got like told off in front of like thousands of people, like we're done.
In
Fuck
the middle
you.
of a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So that happens. And like all the brothers looking around like, yeah, I'm cool with that type of deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically his father was lying to him, oh, you're screwing your family. It seems like the brothers were always cool with
And
not
right
doing
there
it.
and then, that's when Joe knew I am not making this much money anymore. We're all done. We're done. I'm done. I'm not
Because we
making
jumped to what year is it, like 88 now?
Well, I want to do that one point real quick, Trey. When they're performing the Jackson 5, their final song, they're doing they're obviously doing the farewell. They're doing the bow, like the curtain call. Michael leaves the brothers to soak in the love from the fans, blah blah. They can soak it in. Michael's walking off stage, and when he's walking backstage, Joe Jackson meets him, and he's like, "What did you just say?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. What did you just say? I'm talking to you." And Michael's just like, "I'm done. I'm a man now. Fuck off." And that Bill guy tells us, "Hey, Joe, it's over." Michael walks away, and then we get a shot of current day Michael Jackson, which is like 1988, right, Trey?
Yep. Getting ready for in London. I think they're doing a show in London.
They're at Wembley Stadium. Yep. 90-something thousand people.
Basically where the movie started.
Yeah.
From.
Now the song, I will admit, I don't remember what song it was. Do you remember what song he performed, Trey? Was it bad?
Hold on,
it was bad.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad because we're getting ready for the bad album.
Yeah, it was the bad tour. So Jafar is 1988 Michael Jackson. Like he's got like the Michael's got his nose job done for a third time, I think.
The longer hair.
Yeah, the longer hair, like the that kind of stuff. Like Michael wearing like the white T-shirt with a real tight black shirt, dress shirt.
Yeah.
I guess you'd say, like everything in between. Again, Jafar killed it playing as Michael Jackson. He killed it again. Like,
yeah,
Jafar,
that part of the movie, that final concert, dude.
Dude, so good, so good.
And I'm gonna take a chance to say this was so much better than that fucking. Which was the one that was really bad? Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah, that movie fucking sucked. That movie sucked.
So much. And I'm gonna say it's better than Bob Dylan too.
Yeah, Jeremy Allen White, good actor. Holy shit, that movie's terrible.
Yeah, that movie is bad. Maybe one day, chat will. I don't know if I can suffer through it again, but maybe.
I'm pulling a Joe Jackson. Nah, we ain't doing nah. I tell you what to do, Trey. We ain't doing that.
We ain't doing that.
So,
but yeah,
excuse me.
This final concert though is so good.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. Like 90,000 people just going nuts.
And this is probably the only song where it's almost a full song. Like they let him. Sorry about that. You heard that.
Yeah, they played the majority of that whole song. That song, like, and Jafar just killed it. Like, they had like the smoke machine come up from the stage. Like he's like doing like the pose. Like it was just great. Again,
you could tell they put all in there this last concert for sure.
Yeah, and it wasn't some just like hit piece like, oh, Michael Jackson was a PDF file and stuff like that. No, this movie shows a lot of love and respect to Michael's legacy and his career.
That's why the critics hate it.
Yep, and we'll talk about that too. But like that happens, like we get a scene of Michael doing like the one pose where the hands over the eyes, but he's smiling. Like
it's probably his most iconic pose, arguably. Outside of Smooth Criminal, probably.
Yep. So that happened. That's done, and then the movie goes to black, and we get like credits, and we get like other songs from Michael's albums. Then on the screen it says Michael will return. So they are definitely making a part 2.
They confirmed they're doing a part 2, especially now that it made a lot of bank. It is the highest grossing biopic of all time now.
Yeah, dude. Like, honestly, I would not be surprised. It's only not even the first week, the first couple of days, and it's already made $200-something million, right?
Yeah.
I think this movie probably makes $1 billion. I could be wrong.
Close.
Yeah, like because people are buying the merch, like popcorn, like theaters are like selling like Michael Jackson
And I
merchandise.
definitely think there are going to be people who are going back to the theater. I'm contemplating going back to the theater. I'm debating it right now, but
Trey, same here. Same here. I'm thinking about going back to watch it for a second time. I'm not bullshitting right now. It was that good. Like this is the best. This is the best movie experience I've had since Top Gun Maverick.
I would say this. Project Hail Mary was a really good one. Project Hail Mary and this are my probably favorite theater experiences this year so far.
Now on that note, the spoiler part is done. Now we're going to talk about the review of the movie because there's some stuff that I was surprised they did leave out, and some stuff I wish they would have kept in and did a little bit longer. But Trey, you go ahead and give your review, and I'll pick you back up on your.
I would give 8.5 out of 10. Like I told Tyler backstage, 8.5 out of 10. Probably I'd give it. I overall think it's really good. The music, the beat it scene, and the thriller scene, the 1-for-1 recreation of those music videos is so fucking good. That is cinema to me. That is what people go to the movies for. I like that they didn't just fill airtime with the music like some biopics do, where it's just obvious they're only playing the whole song just to fill airtime. I don't mind it if you do it with the last song like they did with Bad here, but when you're doing it and we still have a lot of the movie, it looks like you're just trying to kill airtime. So let's play this whole 5-minute song just to kill 5 minutes of airtime. So I'm happy they didn't do that. I do wish it was a little longer. I wish at least I would have been fine if they made it 3 hours. If the original hours cut was 4 hours, I would have been fine if they made it 3 or 2.5 at least. Just give us a little bit more. But yeah, that's about it. I'm planning on reviewing this on my old channel some point this week. But yeah, pass it on to you, Tyler.
Yeah, dude. I give this movie 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. Jafar Jackson and the kid that played Little Michael Jackson, they were two of the co-star MVPs for me. They were freaking great. Jafar killed it being older Michael. Like he killed it, dude. Like he did a really good job for his uncle, showing him his due respect.
The moments where it felt like we just were watching Michael in real time is crazy.
Yeah. Like the only part I didn't like is two things. One, I wish there was more time with Quincy Jones because there was not a lot of time with Quincy in the movie at all. That's one of my complaints. And also, too, Janet Jackson was not mentioned in this movie at all.
No, unless they're gonna maybe more do stuff with her in the second part because she became bigger thing in the 90s, but still, she should have been in it. Even mentioned, just show her as a kid for a scene because I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Janet wasn't mentioned in this movie.
Not at all. She wasn't mentioned in the movie at all. Jermaine was mentioned in passing. Again, I wish Quincy Jones would have been in the movie longer because like he was a big part of Michael's music career. The Miles Teller's character as the manager, I kind of feel like he was more into the movie than Quincy was. That's just a little bit of a gripe for me. Besides that, and also like we don't know where they traveled, how far, all that stuff. Besides that, I really enjoyed this movie. Highly recommend you going to watch it in the theaters. Go watch it. Have a good time doing so. Do not listen to the critics. The critics are haters. Fuck them.
They're fucking wrong about this movie, and people are gonna definitely go see it for repeat viewings because they're just mad it didn't go into what they wanted them to get into.
Well, it's the media. I believe that they hate Michael Jackson with a passion because they want to push the narrative that he's still a PDF file after being dead for 15, almost 20 years, and still push the narrative that he's this said person. And they're like, no, we can't highlight this person as being a good person because we make more money with if he's a villain, we make more money off the guy.
They want to think it's the mid 2000s where we can get away with that shit still.
Yeah, and it's just like it's a bunch of bullshit. This movie shows Michael that he was pure at heart. Again, I've said that before. I told us Trey offline. Michael having kids in his bedroom, sleeping over, was not a good idea. And I know people said, oh, Michael told the kids, well, ask your parents if it's okay with them. To me, that's an open door for a recipe for disaster, and that's why I think that's what happened to him. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
should have had better handlers on that one. But yeah, dude, this movie, go see it, people.
go see it. Go see it. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. If you saw what you saw today, me and Trey do this pretty much every other week. We try to do it every week or every other week. Talk about movies and stuff like that. It just depends on our schedule. But again, yeah, go watch the movie. Let us know if you've seen it in the comments section, because I'm genuinely want to know what people thought about this movie if you have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, let me know why, because genuinely I want to know, because this movie to me is probably movie of the year so far.
I would still say Project Hail Mary, but maybe who knows? Maybe if I watch this again, it could change. So
right, and like also too, I said before at the beginning of the stream, I think this movie is better than the Austin Butler's Elvis Presley movie. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do. But before we get out here, Trey, what do you got to promote real quick before we get out of here?
I'm going to review this movie on my personal channel at some point, but also on Tuesday, I think we are going to get back to Pirates.
Yeah, we're going to watch Pirates 2.
Dead Man's Chest.
Yes, we're going to cover that for next Sunday. So we're going to review it, all that good stuff. Let me get your channel dropped in here, Trey, real quick before we head out. Also, if you are a pro wrestling fan, me and Trey also have a professional wrestling channel. We cover all the news from WWE, AEW, and around the other wrestling industry. So if you want to be watching that, we're going to drop the link to that too here in a second. Give me 1 second. It's taking forever for me to get the link. Hold on. Where are you at? Okay. Here's Trey's channel right there. That's Trey Courtney's channel right there in the chat. And here is the link to Pin Down Podcast. Again, me and Trey have our own wrestling channel. So if you would like to come over there, hang out with us, talk about professional wrestling, you're more than welcome. We welcome everybody around there. So there's a link to Pin Down. And on that note, we will see you guys next Sunday. Until then, don't stop till you get enough, and shimon. Peace.
Peace.